to actually scale to 30K months in 2026. Welcome to this episode. I am so excited to be sharing with you how you can actually scale to over $30,000 per month in your business if you were to implement these steps. Now, most people do not do what it truly takes to grow, so most people don't ever reach this financial milestone. But if you actually follow the process, you have the proper support and systems and structures in place to allow this to happen, then not only can you hit $30,000 a month, but you can hit so much more than that. So I'm currently doing, anywhere between $80,000 and $100,000 per month, and the business continues to grow each and every year significantly, which feels incredible. And I'm excited to share with you what I did and what I focused on, and the lessons that I've had that got me to 30K months, and also beyond that, if I'm completely honest. So let's dive in. I want to share with you exactly what it takes to actually scale to this point, and not just that financial milestone, because there are a lot of things you could do, or a lot of ways, some that are incongruent, some that are congruent to get you there. But what I'm actually focused on is how to scale to 30K months and beyond in a simple, sustainable, and spacious way. This is what I really care about, because I've been able to get to, millions of dollars in my business, and I haven't felt burnt out. I haven't exhausted myself to the point where I'm questioning whether I should continue or not. Like, none of that has been my reality as I've gotten further and further along in my business. And so I'm really proud about the integrity that I've held, the identity that I've held, and just the way that I navigate business. And so just know that I'm actually teaching from that lens. So there are so many coaches that want to scale to 30K months, but they're trying to do it with the wrong strategy, or the wrong structure, or the wrong rhythm, and the wrong expectations. And because of that, they just end up spinning their wheels, getting overwhelmed, and wondering why the needle is not moving. So what I want to do today is honestly just simplify this. I really want to simplify this, because I won't go ahead and say it's easy, because it might be easy for me. Like, I can now make 30K in the first week, or even the first few days of a month sometimes, So it's not that it can't be easy, it absolutely can, but it's that you have to build the skill set and the strengths and the discipline to make it easy. And so, like, a lot of people make it a lot harder than it needs to be, but when you go straight to what works and you focus on simplicity and mastery, then it starts to become easy. So it just doesn't need to be as complicated as so many people make it out to be. And I really believe that one of the big reasons why people do make it unnecessarily complicated is because they just don't have the right business model. They're going about it in an unsustainable approach. So maybe they're only doing one-on-one coaching, or maybe they're only selling once-off sessions, or maybe they're only selling low ticket with a small audience. These things equate to burnout and you never reaching 30K a month. Whereas if you structure your business model in a much more sustainable way, now it becomes a lot easier to reach 30K months and beyond. So this is exactly what I did, what I do, and what my clients focus on as well. So let's break it down. Number one is you need a clear and scalable business model. So if you, like I said, are trying to grow your business in a way that is going to energetically and financially cap you very quickly, then you're just simply not going to get to this result. So you want to instead have one core offer. You do not need 7 offers to scale your business. You don't even need 3. I'm not saying you could never have more than one, but you actually only need one to get to 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, even 7 figures in your business. I have 2 offers, but I scaled with one first before adding on a second one, okay? It's not essential to have 2, all right? So you only need one offer, and if you make it the most amazing offer and you pour your love and energy into that, not only will you get great client results, but it will also make focusing on certain things a lot easier. Whereas when you have 4 offers and there's 4, like your energy is divided into 25% for each offer, and now you're not putting your all into truly scale, especially if you don't have a team, or you don't have the system set up in the back end. It's much better to have one simple offer, even if it is one-on-one. Charge a high ticket for it and make sure your boundaries are really clear. But otherwise, if you are making money and you're a bit more established, move to group coaching so that you can take on a lot of people without it maxing out your time and still charge high ticket for it. So that's really, really important. Now, a scalable business model has 3 characteristics. So you want to ask yourself these questions to know whether your business model is scalable or not. So number 1, it's repeatable. So the approach you're doing in terms of the strategy and the delivery is repeatable. So for example, my 12-month mastermind scale school, it's 12 months and I do the same thing every single week all year round, supporting my clients at a deep level. People can join at any time, which means that it's a repeatable process. It's not a start and stop program, and it's not anything else. It's literally just this repeatable thing that keeps going. But also same with the strategy. I do the same things every day to market myself. I do the same things every week. I do the same things every month. So it's repeatable. It also needs to be structured, because if you don't have systems in place, if you don't have SOPs in place, if you've got a team, if you don't have automations in place, if you don't know what you're doing or where things are or how to find things, it's going to be absolute chaos and you'll get super overwhelmed before you get far at all. And it also needs to be not 100% dependent on you being on calls all day and doing everything yourself. Like, it's not a scalable business model if it's literally just you doing everything. So here you are trying to scale to 30K months whilst you're doing $5, $10 or $20 an hour tasks. That doesn't add up, right? We need to delegate. So for me personally, this looked like having a group coaching program, that delivered incredible client results, having clear pillars and a clear curriculum for them to follow. So I'm not constantly repeating myself. I can, push them in the right direction and then just spend my time and energy like powerfully coaching them on new things and, giving personalized feedback and support. Like, this is really, really important. This really changed everything for me, because until your offer is scalable, your income just won't be scalable. That's all. So ask yourself, can this model actually take me to 30K months, or would I burn out before I get there? So it's really simple. Pull out your calendar. Let's just say your goal is to make $30,000. So you put $30,000 in the calculator, press the divide button. Let's just say your offer is currently, $997. Could be significantly more, could be less. Doesn't really matter. My point is, if you wanted to make $30,000, okay, I should know this maths in my head, right? But if you wanted to make $30,000, from a $997 program, and this is considering everyone joined in this 30-day period and paid in full, mind you, then you would need to literally sign 30 clients to do so. That's a lot of clients in a month. Whereas if, for example, you wanted to make $30,000 a month, but your offer was $4,997, let's just say, now you just need 6 clients. What would you prefer to focus on in a month? Would you prefer to sign 30 clients or 6 clients? I know which one I would be choosing in terms of energy, capacity, ease, all of the things. So position yourself as an expert and a premium offer and price accordingly. That's how you're going to get there. Number 2 is that your messaging must be clear and compelling. I cannot stress this enough. One of the biggest reasons that most coaches plateau is that their messaging is so vague and blasé and general. If you want to scale, it is so important that you have very hyper-specific, clear and tangible messaging so that you can stand out as an expert. People aren't sitting there guessing what it is you actually do, and they will know within seconds what you actually do, which will allow them to want to learn more and then buy from you. Whereas if they can't even figure out exactly who you help and with what, and if they're in the right place, guess what? They're going to keep scrolling, and there's just no doubt about that. And so not only does your I help statement need to be freaking spot on, but so does the messaging in every single one of your social media posts. You have to have a really clear ideal client profile, and this is one of the biggest things I help my clients with when they first join our programs, so that we can get this on point. Because if this is not on point, your offer will suffer, your strategy will suffer, everything after that will literally suffer. And so it's so important that you have very clear and compelling messaging. So ask yourself this: if a stranger found your social media profile today, would they instantly understand what you help people do? Would they be able to see that within 10 seconds of landing on your profile? So if your bio doesn't say that, or it doesn't say that clearly, major red flag. You've got to fix that up ASAP. If you want help with that, just message me the word scale, because my bio will actually tell you if you're in the right place, and we can have a chat about working together. Number 3 is you need consistent leads coming in. A lot of the time, people might have great messaging, they might be consistent, but the reality is that, if you're not bringing in new leads all of the time, you'll eventually fatigue your audience and you will struggle to grow. So scaling isn't about going viral, and it's not about posting 3 times a day either. Like I post 5 times a week, and that is literally it, so once a day. But it is about having a system that will bring you in leads all of the time. There are lots of ways you can do this. There are 3 core ways. We've got organic marketing, which is posting on social media for free. We've got collaboration marketing, which is working with other people or other communities to grow your audience. And then we've got paid marketing. All 3 have different pros and cons and different trade-offs. I dabble in, I've mastered, but I focus on all 3, should I say. But in particular, we do run a lot of paid ads these days. And this means that I'm bringing in leads all the time. Right now, I have leads coming into my business, even though I'm recording this for you right now. And that is a really freaking cool thing to do, rather than me needing to go out and chase and find people and hope someone that lands on my page or hope someone refers me today. That is not a sustainable way to go about business and get to those 30K months. You might get to 5K a month, maybe 10K a month through referrals, word of mouth, all of that sort of thing. But to get anything beyond that consistently and sustainably, you'll be laughing. So it's really important that you have a strategy that's designed to attract leads every day, but then also an approach to nurture and convert them. So right now, these leads that are coming into my world are also being nurtured. They've just received an automated, confirmation email, and they'll receive several other emails that are going to lead them to taking certain actions, and then hopefully and eventually a few of them will buy from me, right? So that's kind of how that works. So I really want you to ask yourself, where are your leads coming from weekly, monthly, or even daily? Do you have that actually happening? If you don't, this is something you need to sort out if you're actually serious about getting to 30K months and beyond. You need to pick either organic, collaboration, or paid, or do one or more of them, but you have to, have the systems to be able to hold that, Speaking of systems, number 4, if you want to get to 30K months, is you need a seamless sales system and not just random sales moments. So you need an actual process for this. So most coaches rely on luck to make sales. They just hope that someone wants to work with them based on that referral or word of mouth, and that's not a really sustainable way to grow your business. So what you want to do is you want to have a process. So you want to have, first of all, a clear offer that solves a real tangible problem. That's going to make sales way easier if you just have that down pack. You want to have a warm audience that trusts you, so you're doing things to actually create that, because they're the ones that are going to be interested in your offer and have the highest likelihood of buying from you. You want to have multiple touch points in your sales process so that they can learn about you, your client results, your results, and what's possible for them, and handling any objections they might have very subtly. You also want a really structured follow-up process for those that are maybes, on the fences, not right nows, that you can do to try and get them, over the line or in the right direction, because not everyone will be for you and you're not for everyone, And you just need a full sales process, whether that's a sales script, templates, all of those things, and knowing when and how often and where you're actually selling. So we are selling every single day, just a lot of the time it's selling behind the scenes. So like I said, someone might opt in for an event of mine, receive a bunch of emails, might lead them to booking a call, and I make that offer on a sales call with them, for example. Or it might lead them to replying to an email with interest about working with me, and I'll reply via email. So you're not seeing that publicly, but that doesn't mean it's not happening every single day. So if you want clients to buy from you every day, then you need to create opportunities for that to actually happen every day, right? So ask yourself, do I have a real sales system, or am I relying on luck? Okay, and again, if you want help with this is my jam, very passionate about it. You want to make sure that you have this dialed in place. Like, I have a very specific process that I actually don't even see many people do, by the way, that gives us such a high conversion rate and just, makes business way easier. Number 5 is that you need the identity of a coach who can actually hold 30K months, because it's all well and good for you to want it. I don't really care if you want it. I care if you're an energetic match for it and if your actions align with what you say you want. Of course you want 30K months right now. Maybe you're listening to this and you're interpreting everything I'm saying right now, but maybe it's 50K months for you, 100K months, the same thing applies, doesn't really matter, but are you actually operating like someone like that? The likelihood of you doing so is very slim, because if you were consistently, then you'd probably have the results to back it, right? So it doesn't matter how badly I want to make 200K a month, for example. If I'm not a match for it, if my systems aren't a match for it, if I don't even believe it's possible for me, if I'm not operating in that full crazy conviction, it's not going to happen, right? So this part is often so overlooked. We cannot outgrow our current identity. It's just not going to happen. So we need to be doing the inner work to make sure that we are doing what we can to build the belief and build the systems and the strategy that all reflect that financial monthly result that you want, okay? This matters. I can't even stress this enough, how much this matters. Your identity is just everything. If you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. It's that simple. And identity is also what's going to make everything so much more sustainable. So it doesn't matter how much you want it, prove to me that you actually want it through your actions. It's so interesting to me, like I'll have someone book a sales call with me, they'll say, my goal is to make 30K a month. And then we'll talk about the offer and whatever else, and they'll say, yeah, I'm just really busy this week. I just can't start for a couple of weeks, so I just need to think about it. And it's like, cool, so you don't actually really want to make $30,000 a month, because do you think someone making $30,000 a month, which is above average, across all industries across the globe, like that's a lot of money per month for someone personally to make, right? Of course, a lot more than that's possible. Some people are making $1 million a month and more, and obviously many are earning significantly less. But if you visualize the version of you that's making $30,000 a month, do you think they're telling themselves excuses about why they can't show up for their business this week? Absolutely not. Go find me someone making $30,000 a month that's saying that. They're not. People making 30K a month are incredibly driven, hardworking, ambitious people. Their identity is a reflection of that amount of money per month, right? So it's very important that you walk your talk, you practice what you preach, and that you have your actions aligned with what you say you want. So I don't really listen to what people say anymore. I watch what they do, should I say. That's what I actually care about. It's all well and fine if going to the gym is so great for you, but unless you actually go to the gym, that kind of doesn't mean anything, because if you truly knew it, you'd be doing it. So scaling to 30K months isn't about doing more, it's actually about doing what matters and being an energetic match for it. So having a scalable offer, having clear messaging, having consistent leads coming in, having a simple sales system, and having that identity to actually hold all of that. Because if you don't have those things, it's just not going to happen. You might, on a whim, accidentally somehow make 30K a month. Very rare and surprising if that ever happens, but you could. But to actually hold it and repeatedly do it is a whole nother ball game. So when you focus on these things that I've shared with you today, not only will you move faster, but you'll also just stress a lot less, and you'll have more clarity and confidence, which will allow you to enjoy the journey to 30K months. Because look, it's all, well and good to earn 30K months, but guess what? As soon as you get there, you're going to want 40K a month. You'll celebrate it and acknowledge it and love it for a good 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you'll continuously be proud of yourself and be able to acknowledge it, I hope. But the reality is how the human brain works, is it always wants that next shiny thing. So you're going to want the next thing. And so what that tells you, or what that should tell you, is that it's very important that you enjoy the journey, because you spend far more time in the journey than you do at your destination. For me, sure, I would love to get to 200K a month or whatever else, but I actually love where I am, and I love the journey of getting there, and I love the challenges that I'm presented with to get there. I love how I'm called to raise my own standards to actually be an energetic match of someone that is bringing in 200K a month, for example. So very important that all of that aligns. You're potentially closer than you think. You're also maybe further away than you think. But often people are just a few little tweaks away, or even one decision away from very different reality and results. It starts with that one decision though. If that decision, for example, is hiring a coach to actually have the process and the support to do all of this, then maybe that's the decision you need to make. If that's the case and you've resonated with this, you've listened to a few other episodes, I would love to help you. You can book a call with me with the link below, and we can chat and see if working together is the right fit. There's no pressure. You don't don't have to, you don't have to join anything. It's literally just to see if I like you and if you like me, and if we could tolerate each other for 12 months so I can support you to grow a business that you're wildly obsessed with. If that's what you want, book a call with the link below, and I'll see you in next week's episode. Bye for now.